Welcome to English, the podcast where we explore the intricacies of different languages and help you master the art of communication. In today's episode, we're diving into the basics of the English language. Whether you're a beginner or looking to brush up on your skills, we've got you covered. Joining us today are three language experts who have dedicated their careers to teaching English to eager learners around the world. Each guest brings their unique perspectives and expertise to the table, so let's meet them. Dr. Mark Plaus, with a warm and patient demeanor, he has been teaching English as a second language for over 20 years. Her gentle approach and knack for simplifying complex concepts make her a favorite among her students. Mr. Angelo Goncalves, a charismatic and energetic English teacher. Mr. Goncalves brings a dynamic teaching style to the podcast. Known for his passion for language and engaging lessons, he is always ready to share his insights and practical tips. Mr. Carl Latcham, as a language enthusiast and a polyglot, Mr. Latcham understands the challenges of learning a new language. Her empathetic nature and ability to relate to language learners make her a valuable resource for anyone aiming to improve their English skills. Now let's dive into our conversation about the basics of the English language. Welcome, Dr. Plaus, Mr. Goncalves, and Mr. Latcham. We're thrilled to have you on the show today. Let's start with some common greetings in English. How would you say hello and goodbye?
Well, hello there. To greet someone in English, you can simply say hello or hi. It's a universally recognized form of greeting. As for saying goodbye, you can use phrases like goodbye, bye, or see you later.
Absolutely. And if you want to add a touch of friendliness, you can say hey or hey there as an informal greeting. And for farewell, you can also use take care or have a great day.
Mr. Latcham, that's right. It's important to note that the level of formality might vary depending on the situation and the relationship you have with the person you're speaking to.
Absolutely. How can someone introduce themselves in English?
Well, when it comes to introductions, it's important to strike a balance between being concise and providing enough information about yourself. You want to make a good first impression and leave a lasting impact. A simple and effective way to introduce yourself is by stating your name, your profession or area of expertise, and perhaps a brief mention of your interests or hobbies. For example, hello, my name is Mark Plaus. I'm a linguistics professor specializing in English language acquisition. In my free time, I enjoy exploring different cultures through travel and reading.
Absolutely, Mark. Adding a touch of personality to your introduction can make it more memorable. When introducing yourself, consider highlighting any notable achievements or experiences related to your profession. It helps to establish credibility and spark interest from the people you're introducing yourself to. For instance, hey there, I'm Angelo Goncalves, a successful entrepreneur and founder of a language learning app that has helped thousands of people enhance their English skills. I'm passionate about empowering others through effective language learning methods.
I completely agree, Angelo. Another aspect to consider in introductions is the context and audience. Tailoring your introduction to the situation can make a significant impact. For instance, in a formal setting like a business meeting, you might want to emphasize your professional background and accomplishments. On the other hand, in a more casual setting like a networking event, you can showcase your enthusiasm and personal interests. It's all about adapting to the situation and making a connection. So for example, hi everyone, I'm Carl Latcham, a marketing specialist with a knack for digital strategies. When I'm not working, you can find me exploring new hiking trails and experimenting with cooking exotic cuisines. Fantastic insights from all of you. It's clear that introductions are more than just stating your name. It's about creating a positive impression, sharing relevant information, and connecting with others. Thank you for those valuable tips. Now let's dive deeper into the topic. What are some key phrases or expressions that can be used to initiate a conversation in English? And how can someone keep the conversation flowing smoothly? Dr. Plaus, would you like to start us off?
Certainly. Initiating a conversation in English can be as simple as using a friendly greeting like hello or hi, how are you, or hi, my name is Mark. You can also include a friendly, nice to meet you. To make the conversation more welcoming, It's essential to show genuine interest in the other person by asking open-ended questions. This allows for more detailed responses and helps to keep the conversation flowing. For example, instead of asking a closed question like, "Are you enjoying the event?" you can ask, "What do you think of the event so far?" This encourages the other person to share their thoughts and opinions.
Absolutely, Mark. Building on that, active listening is crucial for keeping the conversation flowing smoothly. It's important to give the other person your full attention and respond appropriately. Show that you're actively engaged by nodding, maintaining eye contact, and using verbal cues such as interesting, "I see," or "tell me more." This not only demonstrates your interest but also encourages the other person to open up and share more about themselves or the topic at hand. And if you want to provide some additional information about yourself, you can say something like, "I'm from Canada," or "any city," and "I enjoy." Then say your hobbies or interests like, "I enjoy volunteer work, hiking, and drawing, and I also love soccer." This information helps to find common ground and initiate further conversation.
I couldn't agree more, Angelo. And don't be afraid to ask the other person about themselves. You can say in you, "What's your name?" or "Where are you from?" It shows genuine interest and helps build connections. Another useful technique to keep the conversation flowing is to find common ground or shared interests. Look for topics that you both can relate to or have knowledge about. This helps to create a connection and ensures that the conversation remains engaging for both parties. For instance, if you discover that you both enjoy photography, you can ask about their favorite type of photography or share tips and experiences.
Excellent advice, everyone. It's clear that initiating and maintaining a conversation in English requires active listening, genuine interest, and the ability to find common ground. These skills are essential for building meaningful connections and fostering effective communication. Thank you for sharing those valuable insights. Now, let's take a moment to pause and reflect on what we've discussed so far. Introductions and conversation starters play a crucial role in establishing connections and fostering effective communication. By tailoring our introductions to the context and audience, we can make a memorable impression. When it comes to conversations, active listening, asking open-ended questions, and finding common ground are key to keeping the interaction engaging and flowing smoothly. Listeners, take a moment to think about how you can apply these insights to your interactions in English. Remember, practice makes perfect, so don't be afraid to put yourself out there and engage in conversations with others. Those are great suggestions for introductions. Moving on, what are some common courtesy phrases in English, such as please, thank you, and you're welcome?
Please is used to request something politely like, "Please pass me the salt." And thank you is the expression of gratitude when someone does something for you or offers assistance. It's important to say thank you to show appreciation.
And when someone says thank you to you, a simple "you're welcome" is the appropriate response. It acknowledges their gratitude and shows that you're happy to help.
Additionally, it's worth mentioning that using "excuse me" is a polite way to get someone's attention or apologize for interrupting. It's a versatile phrase that can be used in various situations.
Excellent. Now, let's talk about asking for permission. How can someone ask for permission in English?
To ask for permission, you can use phrases like "may I" or "can I," followed by the action you'd like to take. For example, "May I use your pen?" or "Can I borrow your book?"
And it's important to be polite and respectful when asking for permission. Adding "please" at the end of the sentence, like "May I use your pen, please?" or "Can I borrow your book, please?" shows courtesy.
Absolutely. And if someone asks for your permission, you can respond with "of course," "sure," or "yes, go ahead." It's a way of ploughing them the permission they seek.
These are valuable thoughts about courtesy and permission. Now let's move on to expressing gratitude. How can someone express gratitude in English?
Expressing gratitude is an important aspect of communication, and in English you can say thank you in various ways to convey your appreciation. For example, you can say "Thank you so much," "Thank you very much," or "I really appreciate it."
That's right. And if you want to express your gratitude more emphatically, you can say thank you from the bottom of my heart, or I can't thank you enough. It shows genuine gratitude and makes the other person feel valued.
Absolutely. And it's also common to use phrases like I'm grateful for or I'm thankful for, followed by the specific thing or action you're grateful for. It adds depth to your expression of gratitude.
Wonderful. Let's discuss apologies. How can someone apologize in English?
When apologizing in English, it's important to acknowledge your mistake or the inconvenience you've caused. You can say, I'm sorry, or I apologize, followed by an explanation or a sincere expression of remorse.
And it's important to take responsibility for your actions and avoid making excuses, saying I'm sorry, it was my fault, or I apologize for my behavior. Shows accountability and a genuine desire to make amends.
Absolutely. And if you want to go a step further, you can say, I promise it won't happen again, or I'll make sure to be more careful next time. It demonstrates your commitment to avoiding similar mistakes in the future.
You're right. So what are some other common greetings besides hello and goodbye?
Along with hello and goodbye, you can use phrases like how are you or how's it going as a way to greet someone and initiate a conversation. It shows interest in the other person's well-being.
Absolutely. And when someone asks you how you are, you can respond with I'm good, thanks, or I'm doing well, how about you? It keeps the conversation flowing and allows for further interaction.
That's right. And if you want to add a touch of informality, you can use phrases like, hey, what's up? Or what's going on? It creates a more relaxed and friendly atmosphere.
Great suggestions for greetings. Now let's move on to discussing the weather. How can someone ask and answer questions about the weather in English?
To ask about the weather, you can simply say, what's the weather like today? Or how's the weather? It's a common conversation starter, especially when meeting someone new.
And when answering, you can mention the current weather conditions, like it's sunny, it's rainy, or it's cold. You can also provide more details, such as the temperature or any changes in the forecast.
Absolutely. And don't forget to ask follow-up questions or share your own observations. It keeps the conversation engaging and allows for a deeper connection.
Thank you all for those insights on greetings and discussing the weather. Finally, let's touch on numbers and dates. How can someone talk about numbers and dates in English?
When talking about numbers, it's important to remember that English uses a decimal point to separate whole numbers from decimals. For example, 3.14 is rated as 3.14.
And when it comes to dates, the common format in English is month, day, year. For example, if today is August 20th, 2022, you would say August 20th, 2022.
That's right. And it's also worth noting that in spoken English, it's common to use ordinal numbers for dates. For example, you would say August 20th, 2022.
Fantastic tips for talking about numbers and dates. Now, let's summarize what we've discussed today. In today's episode, we explored the basics of the English language, covering greetings, introductions, courtesy phrases, permission, gratitude, apologies, common greetings, weather conversations, and numbers dates. Our expert guests, Dr. Plaus, Mr. Goncalves, and Mr. Latcham, shared their insights and practical tips to help you navigate these aspects of English communication. We encourage you to practice these phrases and engage with native English speakers whenever possible. Language is best learned through active usage, so don't be afraid to put your skills to the test. Thank you, Dr. Plaus, Mr. Goncalves, and Mr. Latcham for joining us today and sharing your expertise. We truly appreciate your valuable contributions. To our listeners, we hope you found this episode informative and helpful. Remember, mastering the basics of the English language is essential for effective communication, whether it's for personal or professional purposes. If you have any questions or would like to hear more episodes on specific language topics, feel free to reach out to us on our social media channels or through our website. We're here to support you on your language learning journey. Before we wrap up, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our wonderful guests, Dr. Mark Plus, Mr. Angelo Goncalves, and Mr. Carl Latcham. Your expertise and passion for teaching English have truly enriched this conversation. Listeners, remember that language learning is a continuous process, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way. Embrace the journey, stay curious, and never hesitate to seek help or practice with others. That's all for today's episode of Welcome to English. We hope you enjoyed our exploration of the basics of the English language. Stay tuned for future episodes where we delve into more fascinating language topics. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, keep learning, keep communicating, and keep exploring the beautiful world of languages. Goodbye for now.